Hello, I am so glad you can join me today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're making a dessert. Now for the past few days I've made turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, which is traditional things that you find on Thanksgiving table. But you also have to have dessert. One of the desserts that you would mainly find on tables on Thanksgiving is apple pie. You need an apple pie. I have one of the best apple pies, guys. I've had this for years. It is so good. I have given it to my daughter. She kind of took over it and said, "Mommy, it is mine." And she make it every Thanksgiving. That's her job, to make the apple pie. But today I want to share it with you. So I'm going to show you how I make my special Tinaraine apple pie. So first I have here a pie crust. Guys, you can make your own pie crust if you want to. But it is easy if you can just go into Walmart or wherever you go and just go in the refrigerator and buy a 9-inch pie crust. This is a 9-inch pie crust, okay? From in the freezer. So this is what we're going to use today. So let me just set it aside for a minute. The crust is the best part of this pie. So let me make that for you and show you what goes into that. First I have here these are some ingredients I have here, but as I go through them I'll explain. I have 1 cup of sugar. This is 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm gonna put that in there. In here I have a 1/2 cup of oats. Throw that in there. And over here I have 1/2 cup of flour. Okay guys, and I'm just gonna mix this up together. Mix it up so the sugar and everything here would be mixed up. This is just the topping for the pie, guys. This topping is so good, you're gonna love it. And now I'm gonna add to that, I have some butter here. I went ahead and melted the butter a little bit. And this is a 1/2 cup of butter. Of butter. So I am just going to mix this up in here, mix everything up well together. This is our topping. Okay guys, that's it. That's our topping that we're gonna use. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this aside for a minute. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in this smaller bowl right here because I'm gonna reuse this bowl. And this is our topping for our apple pie. See, 1, 2, 3. See how quick that was? So now I set that aside. So now I'm going to get my apples and cut up my apples. We finished the topping, so now we're going to start on the filling. Now this recipe calls for 6 apples. I'm using 4 apples, and the reason I'm using 4 apples is look how big my apples are. See how big these apples are? I have big apples, so instead of using 6, I'm going to use 4. Okay, but if you have small apples, use 6. If you have big apples, you can use 4. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these apples real quick. This does not take long, guys. This does not take long at all. So my apples are finished. Let me rest them in here. Get rid of all of this. 1, 2, 3. And now we are going to cut our apples. This is going to be quick. Cut your apples in half. Cut them in half again. Cut this from inside. And just cut your apple like this. Look. Try to cut them as thin as you can. And just try to do it without cutting your fingers. That's all you got to do. And that's it. And every once in a while, you take a piece and you eat a piece. It's good. You're doing this, you're going to be snacking on it too. Got one more here. Just go as thin as you can without cutting your finger, okay? And this is pretty thin right here. See these layers? It's pretty thin right here. Just do another one. And you eat the last piece. These apples are sweet. And they're nice and crunchy.
Okay.
Okay guys, almost done. I always put a Granny Smith in there, guys. A Granny Smith apple. Now that we're all finished cutting up our apples, now I'm gonna mix it together and show you. So now what I'm gonna do is transfer my apples in here. Move this out of the way. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so in here I have half a cup of sugar. I have 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna add it to the sugar. I have here 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/8 salt. I'm going to add those in here. And just stir this up a little bit. Just stir it up a little bit. Just to break up the sugar and so on. And then I take this and I just sprinkle it over here. And then guys, your hands are clean. I go in with my hands to mix it up, to make sure it's mixed up really well. I mix it up with my hands. Because you want to make sure all the apples are covered with all that good cinnamon and that sugar. Usually when I'm making this and I have my family around, my kids and so on, is like trying to keep everybody's hand from trying to grab the apple. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's what it looks like right there. So the next step to this, move this out of the way. The next step is to get your pie crust. When you get your pie crust, guys, get a fork. Just go around it with a fork like that. That helps the air to pass through. Okay? And then take your apples. Nothing fancy to this, guys. Take your apples. Pile all your apples on the inside. Pile it all in there. Looks like that, guys. And then you take your crust and you're gonna just pile that on the top. You're just gonna put that on the top. And just keep going around. And cover all the surface of every place that needs to be covered. Just cover it. And that's it. That's it. And that's it, guys. And you have your apple pie that's ready to go into the oven. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna take a piece of foil paper and you're gonna wrap a piece of foil paper around here like this. You're gonna go ahead and set your oven at 375. And this foil is just gonna stop the crust around here from browning too early and getting too dark. So we're gonna bake this in the oven for 25 minutes. And when 25 minutes is up, I'm gonna take the foil off and put it back in the oven for another 25 to 30 minutes. And as soon as it is all done, oh, this is too much. Oh, that's okay. And make sure, guys, that when you put this in the oven, that you put a tray under it, because it's gonna start to, the juice and so on may run out, and you don't want to mess up your oven, okay? So put something on it. But we're gonna put this in the oven for, as I said, for 375 for 25 minutes. I'm gonna take the foil off and I'm gonna put it back in for another 25 to 30 minutes. And when that is all done, I will be back to show you the pie. Ooh. So it's been 25 minutes that this has been in the oven. So I took it out and now I'm just gonna take the foil off. See, it's haven't started to brown yet, so we didn't want it to brown too early. It's hot. Looks good, huh guys? So now I'm gonna put it back in the oven and leave it in there for another 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you, or by then it should be done, and we'll be back to taste it. Okay guys, so here is our apple pie. It looks good, and you see, this is why I said guys put a tray under there, because the juices and so on sometimes leak out a little bit if there's too much in there, so you don't want that in your oven. So it's better be in a tray that you can wash. Okay, so I am gonna let this sit here. Once the pie has cooled, I will come back and taste it for you, but right now we have to let it cool for a little bit. So the apple pie is cool. It's not 100% cool, but it's cool enough that we can go ahead and slice it. So this is our pie. I think the best part about this pie is usually be the crust. The crust is usually tastes so good, nice and crunchy, and that's the best part about this pie, I think. So let me see if I can get this out of here without breaking it up. I'm making a mess over here, guys. This is the best part of this apple pie. The crust part, it is the best part, and I will taste it for you. There's a caramel. That is so good. I just like to eat that. So let me taste the apple. Oh, that part is so good, guys. It's still a little bit hot. This is really good. And to eat your apple with this little piece of crunchy on top, it tastes like caramel. It is so good. Guys, go ahead and make yourself some dessert, some homemade dessert, apple pie for your Thanksgiving, to go along with your Thanksgiving dinner. I had fun making this, and I hope you have fun making one for Thanksgiving. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love to read your comments, and I try my best to return your messages as soon as I can. I had fun making this, and I hope you have fun making some as well. Until next time, bye-bye.